Hey Taurus Collective, I hope you guys are doing great. It's Tipsy here to do your general love reading for whenever you are led to this message. We're actually going to do two spreads. So the first one that we do is going to be for those of you who are super single, not dating, not doing anything, nobody even remotely on your mind. And the second one is going to be for everybody else, those people who may be dating, maybe in a relationship, maybe thinking about someone, or, those people who are trying to pretend like they're not thinking about someone. Either one that fits you, feel free to tune in. I'll make sure that the timestamp is below. Let's jump into it. So, for my Taurus super singles, we are going to pull a couple of oracle cards to see what energy is surrounding this reading for you. These cards are shuffling real slow. We have chop wood, and let's grab another and see what else is going on for my Taurus super singles. What energy is surrounding you guys? We have no. So for my Taurus super singles, we have the chop wood card and we have the no card as the energy that's surrounding this reading for you guys. So chopping wood is sort of putting in the work, right? Putting in effort. Like, it can also be a card of cleaning things up right now. So it feels like whatever is surrounding you, that this is something that is outstanding. This is something that needs to, probably should be worked on, something that should be addressed, but there's not much work being put into any sort of relationship right now. It almost feels like it's sort of exhausting, is what it seems like. That's like, yeah, that's a whole lot of energy that I'm just not willing to do right now. So that seems to be what's sort of surrounding you when it comes to your romantic life, Taurus. So let's get into a little bit of tarot and see what's happening in all of your singlehood. So the first card that we have, or the first two cards that we have, is where you are currently in your search for a partner. All right, so we have three. We have the Tower, we have the Six of Cups in reverse, and we also have the King of Wands. So what it feels like in terms of where you are in your search right now, Taurus, is that you are, I feel like you're sort of looking for change. There's a part of you that does not want to revisit the past. You don't want to go back to what it is that you had before, but you need something different. You are sort of waiting for that aha moment, even if you don't necessarily acknowledge that you are right now. It feels as though you want that sort of big bang. But it also feels right now, Taurus, that you may be coming off a little bit cold to the opportunities that you may have around you, to the potential people that you could be dating. This feels like a real kind of hard energy that you have around yourself. And that may be why it doesn't feel like there's much happening right now in your romantic space. So looking at your challenge in this moment, what do we have for my super single Tauruses? What challenge are they facing in this moment? And two more cards. We have the Five of Swords, and we also have the Queen of Swords in reverse. So Taurus, the biggest challenge you face right now is that it feels as though you are absolutely in defensive mode. Like, there doesn't seem to be a big balance between you sort of setting your boundaries and just going into full out like fight or flight mode when it comes to relationships. There doesn't seem to be that sort of middle ground maybe when it comes to communication. And so instead of, when you sort of experience conflict and it's good to sort of just talk it out, it's like, nope, you go into, you might go a little bit into attack mode, Taurus. Did you say something about somebody's mama? or their kids, because it feels like you might have. It feels as though you really might have done that. So it feels like challenges is sort of finding that balance between protecting yourself and communicating what it is that you want and need from another person. So looking at what part of you requires just a little bit of nurturing, a little bit of acceptance, a little bit of love. We have the Two of Wands, and we also have the Nine of Cups. So this is sort of the person who is comfortable within themselves, and they have the ability to think a little bit more openly, a little bit more critically when it comes to dealing with other people. They're able to see things from a broader perspective, right? And it's not viewed as a slight to them that they're being questioned or anything like that. So this I feel like is you sort of nurturing other perspectives, broader perspectives, and not sort of immediately jumping to defensiveness. This is that part of you that is confident in what it is you're feeling, what it is that you believe, and so you're able to articulate that in a way that resonates with someone else. You're able to communicate without attacking or without being defensive. This is somebody being very sort of strong in their conviction. What needs to be shed or let go of in order for you to move forward? And of course, this is only if you're looking for a relationship. If you're not, keep it moving. So what we have for you is Justice, and we also have the Death card. So these are two really good cards, right? So I feel like whatever you've sort of experienced in the past, Taurus, where you weren't able to communicate for whatever reason, you may have been put in a place where you felt very defensive. It's sort of time to let that go. It's time for you to sort of reconcile what's happened, because it doesn't necessarily feel like this is a particularly comfortable place for you, at least in the sense that being in this energy has not allowed you to have the type of relationship that it is that you're looking for. So it's time for you, I think, to sort of switch things up a little bit. And it may take a little bit of work to get out of this space, but this is now your opportunity to find that balance, to be a more effective communicator, and to basically turn over a new leaf, to leave the past in the past. So let's see what the best way is to approach inviting love into your life, the right relationship for you. So we have the Seven of Cups in reverse. And this is someone who sort of has their blinders taken off, right? They're no longer trying to figure out their options. They're no longer under any illusionment trying to figure out what's here, what's here, what's here, what's here, what's here. This is somebody who has clarity, right? This is someone who is able to sort of see things for what they are. And I think that, this is you not having to have your guard up all of the time, because you're able to see things clearly. You've established your boundaries, right? You are looking at things, looking at ways of communicating your needs and wants from a different level, from a different perspective. So there's no need to be defensive. There's no need to be sort of cutting in your communication. This is you becoming somebody who simply speaks facts. Oh, this is what I need. This is what I'm looking for. Oh, you can't do that. You think that's ridiculous? Okay, not a problem. On to the next. So, but I don't think that you've sort of taken that moderated approach, Taurus. It almost feels as though, somebody could say, oh, this is what I want. This is what I expect. and they say something and you're like, hold up, hold up, hold up. Your mama and them know. Like, it feels like it goes from 0 to 1,000. So, this is you just dialing it back a little bit. Looking at what's the most aligned action that you can take today. Taurus, we have the Two of Pentacles in reverse. Didn't we just say that this is someone who is firm, that this is someone who is in control of themselves? They are very decisive and they have chosen their course. They've set their boundaries. This is someone who's no longer juggling. This is somebody who's no longer ambiguous when it comes to their wants and needs. And this is somebody who has made the decision to work towards having a more calm demeanor, I guess, when it comes to relationships. And as opposed to sort of letting things be where they are, because I don't think that it's making you very happy. Now, looking at your potential outcome. All right, we got a couple of cards. Okay, we have the Queen of Wands and we also have the King of Cups in reverse. So what it looks like for your outcome, Taurus Collective, is that you are going to find yourself. I don't think that at the end of this journey, there is going to be your forever ever person. I do think that there is going to be a person that comes in with some sort of offer. I don't think it's going to be exactly your speed, but you are now in a place where you can say, nope. And it's actually a rather warm no. It's like, you know what? That's so sweet. You shot your shot. You missed because you're not my zhuzh, but thank you so much for playing and best of luck to you. That's what it feels like. It feels like somebody who has sort of come full circle and they don't need to annihilate someone who comes their way because they're not particularly feeling them right now. This is just somebody who's incredibly secure now with what it is that they want from another person. So I am going to pull one last oracle card and see what the final message is for my Super Single Taurus Collective. Let's see what we got for you guys. All right, and we got one that flipped out. And the last card that we have is loyalty. Your reliability demonstrates your loving sense of devotion and consistency of being. So again, Virgo, this is not you sort of being loyal to anybody else. This is you being loyal to what you need, what it is that you want in a relationship, and being able to tell the other person that that's what you're looking for. Making sure that you're confident in the boundaries that you set, being consistent with those boundaries that you set. No more back and forth, no more confusion, no more illusions. This is you sort of turning over a new leaf, putting in the work to let this energy go and bringing in a little bit more welcoming and discerning energy where you don't sort of have to be on defense all of the time. So super singles, I'm going to leave it there for you. And now we're going to go to our not so super singles and see what's going on in their romantic world. Hey, not so single Tauruses. I hope you guys are doing great. So we're going to jump into this love reading for you guys whenever you're drawn to it. And this is for those Tauruses out there who may be dating someone, maybe getting to know someone, may have a situationship with someone, may have somebody on their mind. If you're in any of those stages, then hopefully this reading is for you. But let's jump in and pull a couple of oracle cards just to see what energy is surrounding this reading for you right now. What energy is surrounding this reading for the Taurus Collective? And the first card that we have out is forgiveness. And let's grab one more and see. And I want to say too, Taurus Collective, that my index finger is like, it was tingling a little bit and now it's numb. And I just kept hearing, too much pointing, too much pointing. So I don't know if you guys are in a situation where somebody's pointing the finger at somebody else, but we'll see. And what we have for you as your second energy card is, it is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. Oh, so there is something surrounding this reading for my not so single Taurus is that somebody has some trust issues. And I don't think that the trust issues came from the person you are currently with, or cross-watcher if it came from Taurus. But there is somebody here who is, it feels like baggage. So much baggage. And it almost feels as though like every time there's even remotely a hiccup, one person in this situation is like, you did it. It's because you. And it's like, you ever going to turn that mirror around? Or we just gonna, there seems to be something that someone is holding on to that's preventing them from moving forward in this relationship. There's something that's being held back because a lack of forgiveness, either for someone or for something. But let's hop into some tarot and see what's happening for you right now, my not so single Taurus collective. First card that we have is the current state of your relationship with them. Good Lord, we got the Queen of Swords. This came out in the singles reading, and the Queen of Swords is typically somebody who's pretty cutting. They are blunt, they are to the point. Like there's not a whole lot of kindness, not a whole lot of warm fuzzies coming from this one. So it feels as though right now the state of your relationship, if you are even speaking, they're not the most pleasant conversations. They're very short, they're very blunt, they're very to the point. There's just, it doesn't feel like, it almost feels like one person is like, well, damn, like they're stuttering, they're trying to find their words. It just doesn't feel like a good feeling. Now let's take a peek, Taurus, at what you're bringing to the relationship. Oh, okay. The Ten of Swords. Taurus, you coming in with a little baggage, baby. Like, the Ten of Swords is betrayal. It's a sense of being backstabbed. It's a sense of profound hurt. This is someone who has been through it. And at this point, they've laid down and they're like, well, I got this damn sword in my back, in my arm, wherever. I'ma just stay here for a minute. I'ma just roll around in this betrayal. Is that what you're bringing to the table, Taurus? I hope not, because that's not pleasant. That's right up there with these conversations. But it feels like, Taurus, there's a lot of hurt that you're carrying with you. And I don't think it's because of this other person. What are they bringing to the table, to the relationship? We have the Two of Cups in reverse. Well, what they're not bringing is a whole lot of love right now. It feels as though, I think at one point there was some level of affection, that they had some sort of level of concern. And I think that there, to a degree, there is still some of that that's floating around, but they've dialed it back. They're certainly not showing you what, any feelings that they have. Again, given that I don't know that you all are talking right now in any sort of meaningful way, I don't think that this person is doing much to express how they feel about you. Looking at your potential in a relationship. Okay. Oh, Jesus. We have the Five of Pentacles and we also have the Queen of Wands. So the interesting thing here is that it feels like there's passion. It feels like there's some level of passion between the two of you. Like if you all were to come together now, there would be a lot of attraction between the two of you. But in spite of that attraction level that you all may have for each other, there's one person that seems like they're going to end up feeling shut out for whatever reason or another. So it could be you, Taurus, feeling shut out because you don't know how this person truly feels about you because they're a little bit guarded around you. And they might feel shut out because they don't know about you, like whether or not this betrayal that you've experienced before, this little bit of emotional baggage that you're carrying with you, is going to trickle over to them. So it feels like, it's almost like, I'm going to get you before you have the chance to get me. And it feels like somebody's going to be left out, in spite of the fact that it seems like you two actually might truly want to see what could happen. So looking at what lesson you're learning through this relationship, Taurus, we have the King of Swords. And let me clarify that a little bit. What lesson is Taurus learning? Okay, this is good. This is good. We have the High Priestess. So what it feels like, Taurus, is that the biggest lesson that you have is to figure out how to show up in, I think, sort of a just and balanced way. That this is you sort of not following history, not sort of relying on your emotions that you've experienced in the past. This almost seems that, this is a challenge, Taurus, right? Usually I don't struggle for words, but it feels like in this case with you guys' energy, I am. So I feel like more than anything, this is Spirit asking you to use your voice responsibly, to use your voice thoughtfully, to not just sort of operate on emotion, but operate in sort of logic too, and find that balance, right? Where you're sort of able to open up to people while not necessarily leaving yourself completely vulnerable. Because what I'm feeling more than anything is that there's a bit of fear to truly open up in this relationship, or quite frankly with anyone else. But I think for this one person in particular that you've dealt with in some level in the past, there is just this inability, I think, to communicate effectively, because it feels as though there are some triggers. So Spirit is saying that this is time for you to find balance. This is time for you to figure out a way to communicate in a way that doesn't leave you feeling completely open to, the potential of being hurt. But understand that this person didn't do that to you. It wasn't them who caused it. And even if you're feeling sort of left out now, the reason that they're dialing things back is because they have no idea where you are. They have no idea why things went south. They have no idea why things haven't sort of been able to get off the ground. But they know that it wasn't them that did it. And so I feel like Spirit is saying, overall, there's some need for forgiveness here. There's a need to forgive you and the other person, because this current person is not here to harm you. So what we have for your potential outcome towards not so singles, we have the Queen of Cups. So this is someone who I think ultimately is going to be able to give their love, and they're going to also be able to receive that love as well. So, Taurus, I think this is you being a little bit more open. I also think that this is the person that you're thinking about right now, being open as well, and being willing to offer their cup. I think they're going to be a little bit guarded, right? Until they know that you've sort of shed this energy. You can see with the look on her face, she's a little apprehensive. She's has a bit of a protective hand on her cup, but the rest of her looks pretty relaxed. She's just trying to sort of see what it is that you're going to do. But I think that ultimately there's going to be the ability to share those cups of love with each other. So Taurus not so singles, I'm going to pull one last oracle card. Whew, these are like the most difficult cards to shuffle. Like, they're very cute and I like the shapes and everything, all lovey-dovey, but when you actually try and get one out, it's like, oh my, this is not going well. So what we have for you is, don't make decisions based on guilt or what you think you should do, for it is only in being true to yourself that you can be true to others. So I feel like, Taurus, this is, again, this is Spirit saying that the decisions that you make and how you interact with this person, I don't think that this is something that should be based on your experiences with other people in the past. They're not those other people in the past. So just give this an opportunity to play out. I don't think that you like being in this energy because it hasn't served you. It almost feels as though it's brought even more conflict into your relationships. So, making sure that you base decisions on the information that you have from that person at that time might be a better way to go, as opposed of making decisions based off of this past energy that you've experienced. So I'm going to leave it there for you, Taurus. I hope that this was helpful, and I hope that it resonated with all of you guys. If it did, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. In the meanwhile, stay safe, stay healthy, and I am sending you huge hugs.